And this is where he does his puke attack. So what that does is that breaks your equipment if you stand in it. And as such, you can use his soul to get a pyromancy, which is used to break equipment. Which is very fitting. The rat guy is right there. I didn't really bother showing him again. But that Covenant guy is there again. These guys are always sitting down, and you can always just run up and backstab them. I don't really... I guess they're trying to show that they're like peaceful guys or whatever, and they don't really want to attack. Whatever the case is, just run up and backstab them. So this is the final spot for Givlon. If you ever need to sell anything or buy poison arrows, how many do I want? I'll do... yeah. Or poison moss or anything like that, this is where you go. Do I have... yes, I do have some doubles. Okay, so there are some rings where I will keep the lesser variants. Specifically, there's a spell... the spell rings I will. There's some that give you more attunement slots, and there's some that increase the uses you have of the spell but reduces your health. Those are the only ones where I'll keep the different variants. Everything else, there's really no reason. Oh, and the dragon rings, but I never even get the first one since that's from the Victor Covenant. If he hits you with one of these axes, I don't want to say it's an insta-kill, but it does do a ridiculous amount of damage. Am I going to get it? No. Damn. Some of these guys just hanging out, having a good night, which I just ruined. So if you don't like spiders, you're gonna have a problem with this part, because this part is entirely spiders. And people with spiders on their backs. There are a few peasants we're gonna get rid of first, but after that, we are in Spider Town. I really wish I knew the story behind this pile of dead bodies with that guy. There's a soul of a proud knight near there. Doesn't really make sense to me for a knight to have been slain by a peasant, but I guess it could happen. There's a chest inside this house, and the way you get there is to jump into this well. which is easier said than done, for me anyway. I always do a pathetic jump like that, or I jump over the well, or I hit it and I don't break the roof like you're supposed to, and I just go to the side. So this may take a few tries. There we go. It's definitely worth doing though, because I believe it's 5 human effigies in this chest, something like that. Yeah. We're gonna shoot this and just kill that guy with this boulder. Save us some time. And I'm gonna go ahead and aggro these guys. Yeah, hopefully I can get a few of them with this boulder. I got one. I'll just have to do. So, I don't know if everyone has noticed this, but the lighter you are, the less falling damage you take. So if you're wearing heavy armor and you fall, you're gonna take a lot of damage. But if you're, you know, under 40 or under 30% of your equipment load, then it's definitely not that big of a deal. Which is another reason why I prefer to make lighter characters. On top of the many other benefits. So I'm not even going to bother opening this chest. What happens is it sets off a trap and all those spiders hiding in the holes come out. And you have to kill all of them for, I think it's like 20 crossbow bolts. It's just useless. That's not worth anyone's time. I'm grabbing that Estus Flash Shard. And this is one of the easiest boss fights in the game. I don't even know why I'm using an ooze for it, but we're gonna. All it is a bunch of guys we gotta kill. Somehow I missed that attack, so see, he's already dead. These priest guys can actually heal everyone, but if you're not one-shotting these guys, then you really don't have a strong enough weapon. And just due to how slow everything is, it's really not an issue to heal, even though it's a short arena. I had no idea this ladder existed for probably, I don't know, like 50 to 100 hours of the game. No idea. But then again, it's really not that useful. This guy has a couple miracles for sale. And he's the guy you go to if you've sinned and you don't want to be a sinner. You don't want to get repeatedly invaded by the blue spirits, the arbiter ones. But it just costs so much money. I just went ahead and bought those. I'm realistically never going to use them, but the only one I do use is the Curse Bite Ring for one boss. And even then, it's just because it's a preference. It's absolutely not necessary. Alright, I took a short break there. So, let's get the blacksmith first of all. And then we'll come back and go the way to get to the boss. So you're supposed to go down these zipline things, but if these sorcerers hit you with one of their spells while you're going down them, then you're going to get knocked off and you're probably going to die from the falling damage. Nearly died there anyway. But yeah, that's just a quick shortcut to get into this room. And on the lower floor of this is bonfire, which is the closest bonfire to the blacksmith. Now these spiders will drop until you've killed them enough so they don't respawn. Which is kind of annoying, but you know, whatever. Just don't forget, if you rest at that bonfire, those spiders will be there. We're gonna run over here first and get this dragon bone. It is gonna spawn, I think, 3 spiders to come after us, but it's really not that big of an issue. There's a basilisk hiding right here. Oh god, alright, get in there. It's like a group of petrified school children in the blacksmith's place. It's a little spooky, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so she has a Mirakumo, which is a pretty good weapon, and the composite bow. She also has fire arrows, and she'll get to the point where she has infinite of the consumables that she has. And the deal with her is the first boss soul trade thing that you do with her is free. That's her thanks of getting her out of that locked door. So we're gonna make use of that, but we don't have the boss soul yet, so we're gonna have to wait. Okay, so that's everything I'm gonna get over here. I could run through this place several times to try to get all the Titanite bugs, but I just don't need to, and I don't really want to. There's 3 or 4 of them scattered around this level, and I just don't need them. I'm at the point where I need chunks, and not all of them drop chunks, if I remember correctly, so we're not going to bother. Here we see the culmination of the Pate vs. Creighton fight. I'm gonna go ahead and kill Pate because you get rewarded for killing Pate and you don't get rewarded for killing Creighton. So why would I kill him?
You did.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try to get this Titanite bug, just to show how to do it, because a lot of people mess it up, and it's really simple. You just do that. And now we're introduced to these spider people. This guy doesn't feel like dropping down, so I guess we'll shoot him. Now there's usually a sorcerer guy in this window right here, but I don't know what the deal is with him right now. I don't know if they decided to move him somewhere, or if I aggroed him somehow and he jumped off or something, but he definitely is not there. This is just a spellcasting ring. I think it's the one that takes away health but gives you more casts. I'm not 100% on that thing. Alright. So there's a few spiders in here, and if you don't go in here and kill them, they will eventually come out and try to kill you, so you might as well just do it. This'll put you above a basilisk, and it also kinda lets you see that red phantom there, who he's gonna come after me once I fall. Ouch. Stupid spider. Oh god. It's very easy to get trapped near there. In fact, he just trapped himself. He somehow got in the way. Give me a few shots. For good measure. Alright. I believe there's a Titanite chunk in this room. Yep. And I think that gives me 3. So I can, whenever I go to a blacksmith, I can get this weapon upgraded all the way. So this leads us to the room that Creighton lets us go in, where you get the engraved gauntlets and a bunch of rusted coins.
I'll leave a nasty scar.
And I really don't understand that dialogue at all, because he says that, and he's nowhere to be found. He's not here. So, I don't know if you're supposed to go in there and they meant for Creighton to show up again and you have to kill him then, or what the deal is with that, but it would make a whole lot of sense. So a bunch of spiders fall down from the roof. Really not that big of a deal. These guys do have a grab attack though, and that will do a ludicrous amount of damage. So try to avoid that. We'll come back for this door later. It's locked and we currently don't have the key. Alright. This part reminds me of the spider part from The Hobbit. It's shown in the Desolation of Smaug. Just, I mean, I'm a simple guy, just because there's spider webs and there's spiders. But I always think of it when I go here. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill all the spiders and work my way down. If you know what you're doing, you can bypass every enemy in this area, but I am not in a rush, and I want to use the summon. I don't really want him to get confused with all the spiders. Alright, so it's this guy. Come on. This guy. And there should just be one more. You my boy, Boyd. Okay. She uses magic attacks, so I'm gonna use a fire resin. Just because I'm pretty much, if a boss uses a certain spell, then I'm gonna assume that they have a high resistance to that spell. Now the deal with this fight is there's these spiders you gotta kill, and you can't hit her anywhere besides for in the face. Which isn't that big of a deal because she has two. Okay. It's a very simple fight. That's really the attack right there. This one is really the only thing that should ever hit me. We actually did so much damage to that face that we just knocked it off. Yeah. And once again, I really wish that if you knocked something off the boss, there was a benefit from it. Like an item would drop, like in Dark Souls 1. Oh, jeez. But yeah, it was really cool how you could, like, fight the gargoyles, and if you managed to knock one of their tails off, then you could get their tail as a weapon. That was awesome. I don't like how they didn't, like, go with that theme. I'm just gonna beat this guy to death with the shield, because I want to keep the mace for the upcoming fight against Bengal. A funny thing I noticed with the shield is, even in PvP, if you attack someone while you're two-handing it like this, and they attack you, you'll hit them and it'll count as a block. So you'll take reduced damage. Which pretty much makes shields very good for turtling. As if that wasn't already known, but I mean, you can, even with a small shield, you can do some serious damage to someone while taking reduced damage. It's not bad. Okay. I do have an Estus Flash Shard. gonna go do, talk to Vengarl again. Sorry about that, took a short break. Okay, let's, yeah, I'll talk to Vengarl later. Let's go ahead and do the run up to Draenlord Castle. Okay, so right here you fight another one of these Flexile sentries. And this one has very, very little health. Which is nice. And as such, it's pretty much a pushover. Alright. So now that we've killed the 4 main bosses, this door will open. Another way is I think you just have to get 1,000,000 soul memory. And the door will open for you if you go to it. So, if you were gonna do that, I would just join the Bell Tower Covenant and just literally sit in the Bell Tower. And you'll get 1,000,000 souls pretty quick. You know, it might take, I don't know, 4 to 5 hours as long as you're killing people, but that's a lot of souls for 4 or 5 hours. And from PvP. Because my one major complaint about PvP, I mean there are many, but the major one is just how unrewarding it is. So we fought these guys before. They were in the Salt Fort. And these are kind of the upgraded version of them, I guess. They're all throughout Draenlord Castle. They're really not that big of a deal. But there will be a bunch of them that come to attack us, and that is really the only time where they might be an issue. Alright. Yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff that you need to kill here. And there's not a bonfire before you do it. So you gotta... You gotta really hope you don't die. I wanted to do that with the throwing knife just to once again show that you can knock those guys out of their petrified state with it. So even if you're doing a strictly melee guy and you don't have the dexterity to use a bow or anything like that, you don't have spells, you still don't have to run up there and punch one of those guys in the face.